Welcome to the third in our video series on Polarion's test management capabilities. In this one we'll introduce you to test runs, and we'll cover what a test run is and what it does, how to browse existing test runs, how to create a new test run, and we'll also introduce the concept of test run templates and show you how to start creating a new customized template for your own test runs. Let's start by understanding what a test run is. Here's one from the Polarion example project. A test run is a business object which displays in a special wiki page. It represents a specific instance of executing some set of test cases. It captures what is to be tested, specifically some set of test cases. It also describes the test environment, the build tested, the OS platform, and so on. A test run can be executed manually by testers or automatically as part of a build process, depending on the test run type. When the captured test cases have been executed, the test run records the overall outcome of the testing, passed, failed, or blocked, and makes the result visible to stakeholders. When testing encounters failures, the test run logs which test case failed. A defect work item is created, linked to the failed test case and the test run, and auto-assigned to your developers. So with these basic concepts in mind, let's see how to browse and view test runs. Assuming the default navigation configuration, expand the topics and select Test Runs. Here you see a table listing all currently existing test runs. When you select one, you can view its details in the lower part of the page. If you have a lot of test runs, you can search to filter for the ones you want to see. Maybe only failed test runs, for example. Here's where you can create a new test run and access test run templates, both of which we'll talk more about later. In the test run detail, you can see the overall result at a glance. In this case, all executed tests passed. But you can also see that there are 6 test cases in this run, but only 3 were executed. Probably some new test cases meeting the criteria for this test run have been added since this test run was executed. As a manager, I would see a red flag that this test run needs to be executed again. I could either reopen this one or, and probably it's a better practice, create a new test run based on the same template. The template is what gathers the test cases, as we'll see later. Scrolling down, you can see the details of the test environment. It seems the environment description was not specified, so as a reviewer or manager I could add it by going into the test run properties. I'll just call your attention to the test run actions menu. We'll see a couple of these items in more detail, and the rest you can probably check out on your own. Let's look briefly at a failed test run. Again, it's pretty easy to see the overall status at a glance. Scrolling down, we can see that one test case failed, and which one it was. There's a link you can follow to the test case, and there was also a defect created, automatically linked to both this test run and the test case that failed, so there's full traceability maintained at all times. There's a link into the defect item as well. Let's look now at how to create a new test run. We'll focus on creating test runs for manual tests, as that's the most common use case for testers. Now, at the risk of stating the obvious, let's just make sure to remember that test runs execute test cases specified in a project, so the first step is to open the project that contains the test cases you want to execute. In navigation, select the test runs topic. On the test runs page, click the Create button. Note that you need a product license for Polarion QA or Polarion ALM, plus user permissions for creating test runs in the project. In the dialog, provide an ID, and you'll need to decide on some convention for test run IDs. For now, we'll just use something simple like TR1. Now we select a test run template. We'll talk more about these before we're done, but for now let's select this user acceptance test template. That gives us a new test run ready to be executed. Before executing, however, it's a good idea to go into the properties and specify the environment info. Let's say we're testing this on Linux and the latest release of Ubuntu. You, of course, will want a full description of your environment. Let's touch on several other important properties. Type specifies whether it's a manual or automated test run. The types are customizable in testing administration. Template tells you which test run template this test run is based on, and there's a link to it if you want to go look at it. Query is quite important. This is the query that fetches the test cases to be executed. This query will fetch work items of type test case and having test type user. Keep in history. Check this option if you want to keep the test run history even if the test run itself is deleted. With the new test run created, you're ready for testers to execute it. We'll cover that in the next video in our test management series. Let's wrap up this session with a quick look at test run templates. Go to Test Runs in Navigation, and in the table of test runs, click Manage Templates. The table now shows a list of available test run templates. You can think of a test run template as a model for test runs whose properties are reused each time a new test run is created based on the template. In fact, you can save any existing test run as a test run template. Polarion comes with several predefined templates that you may find meet your needs out of box, and if not, any one of them can serve as the basis for a new test run template that you customize. For example, let's create a custom template based on this release test template. After selecting it, we go to Actions and take Save as Template. And let's call this Beta Release Test and save it. Now, all we have now is just a clone of the release test template, so let's customize by going into Properties. Let's change the query and retrieve a different subset of test cases, those with the beta category set. And let's also modify the description a bit, and we'll save it. Now, if we toggle Manage Templates off, we can create a new test run based on our custom template. Let's call it Beta 1, and select our new Beta Release Test template. You can see the description is from our customized template, and there's just one test case to be executed. And that's just because I gave just one test case the beta category, so you can see this result. That wraps up this tutorial, and we hope it will help you get started creating and managing test runs. As always, your feedback on our tutorial videos is welcome by email or on the form on our website video page.